Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a blessed Sunday. And in the news this morning, taxi operator drowns while attempting to cross a flooded ford. A taxi operator from John Crow Spring died on Saturday while reportedly attempting to cross a flooded ford in the Hopewell area of Highgate in St. Mary. Reports indicate that the taxi operator was coming from Highgate en route to John Crow Spring with two passengers on board. Upon reaching Richmond Road, which was allegedly impassable, the taxi operator decided to take an alternate route through Marlborough. It is alleged that upon reaching the Duck River fording, the driver reportedly attempted to cross but became trapped. The silver Toyota Probox he was driving was then swept away by flood waters. The two passengers managed to escape but sustained broken bones and were taken to an Ottawa hospital for treatment. Reports also indicate that sections of the Junction Road have been reduced to single-lane traffic due to landslides, as the parish has been experiencing heavy rainfall over the past 2 days. Curfew imposed in violence plagued sections of Manchester. A curfew has been imposed in several Manchester communities, including Inverness district in Knockpatrick, where 30-year-old Roisin Wilshire was shot dead and his girlfriend injured during an attempted robbery at her bar on Thursday. Police reports are that other hotspots such as Greenvale and areas in the L-Belt stretching from Albion to Porus, including Newhall, Comfort, Broadleaf and Midday, are also under a nightly curfew which began Friday at 6 p.m. and will continue until 6 a.m. on Monday. Authorities stated the curfew was imposed to prevent reprisals following recent murders and other acts of violence. So far this year, 43 people have been killed in Manchester. Official police data show 42 murders in Manchester up to October 20, reflecting a nearly 17% increase over the 36 murders recorded during the same period last year. The parish has also seen 36 shootings, a 9% rise from the previous year. Jamaica to welcome inaugural flight from Bahamas in November. Jamaica is further enhancing accessibility for Caribbean travelers with the introduction of a new direct route from Nassau, Bahamas to Sangsar International Airport in Montego Bay. Starting on November 17, 2024, Bahamas Air will offer this service, operating twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays. The flight, which lasts just over 2 hours, provides another convenient option for visitors traveling to Jamaica. Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism, noted this new flight within the Caribbean region marks a significant step in strengthening regional connectivity and tourism. It provides a greater access for our Caribbean neighbors to experience the beauty and the culture of Jamaica while enhancing opportunities for economic growth and collaboration. We are ready to welcome more visitors from across the region, further uniting the Caribbean as a hub of culture and tourism. Donovan White, Director of Tourism, Jamaica Tourist Board, said that the introduction of this new flight to Jamaica marks not only a celebration of connectivity, but also an opportunity for travelers to immerse themselves in the vibrant culture, natural beauty, and warm hospitality that Jamaica is renowned for. It's a bridge to our rich heritage and culture, offering more people the chance to experience the island's breathtaking landscapes, White said. Speaking at the launch of the new flight held on October 24 at the Courtly Hotel and Suites, Melanie Ramming, Sub-Committee Board Director, Sales and Marketing, Bahamas Air, highlighted, "We appreciate all that Jamaica has to offer, and we are excited to share that with others." Montego Bay was chosen because we felt that continuing the product that we offer in the Bahamas, which is of course a tourist destination, Montego Bay is the best option to continue on with what we offer already. Also speaking at the launch, Peter Mullings, Deputy Director of Tourism Marketing, JTB, added, "Tourism plays a huge role in both our economies, and this new route presents the opportunity for more visitor arrivals cultural exchanges, and business opportunities. UHWI healthcare workers want tighter security amid car thefts. A healthcare worker has described parking a vehicle on the compound of the University Hospital of the West Indies and entering the facility to execute her duties as a game of Russian roulette, as there is no guarantee that after a day of saving lives, her car will still be there. And she is not alone. The news spoke to outraged and frustrated healthcare workers who are demanding immediate action from the hospital's administration to bolster security measures on the compound, expressing that it is causing them much mental and financial stress. Their appeal comes almost a year after the news reported Sandra Montgomery's story. Her car was stolen from its parked position at the Papine St. Andrew Hospital in October 2023 after she had taken her mother to the Accident and Emergency Department and was there all day, only to find her car gone when they were finished. At the time, UHWI Public Relations Officer Nordia Francis Williams had said that the hospital had measures in place to address vehicle theft, including increased security presence, strategic placement of barriers and chains in car parks, and heightened patrolling by both armed and unarmed personnel. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, a healthcare worker whose car was stolen from the hospital parking lot told the news that while preparing to go home after a long day, she got a call notifying her that her car had been stolen. Shocked and confused, she could not comprehend how her car, which had been parked less than 50 meters away from a security post, could have been stolen. The area that I was parked in is normally reserved for doctors, and sometimes it's even difficult for us to get into that area. We have to sometimes show ID if we don't have the H on the car, said the healthcare worker, who did not wish to be named. She further noted that the security guards are to log cars that enter the compound, but her was not logged on the day it was stolen, resulting in her spending hours trying to convince them that her car was parked in the area. The healthcare worker, angered by this, alleged that the security guards were distracted and needed proper training. She reasoned that had it not been for a tracking device and the help of the police, she would not have recovered her vehicle. The news has been told that since the start of the year, the police have received 14 reports of car theft on the grounds of the hospital. Given the number of cars that I hear are being stolen, they should have a proper procedure and a protocol in place where things get moving, because the longer it takes, the less a chance is going to be that you're going to find back your car, the healthcare worker lamented. If there are strange vehicles coming into the parking lot or people sitting in their vehicles for a long time, these things should raise a red flag. They need to try not to be distracted regardless of who it is. Make sure you are logging all the cars that are coming into the parking lot and being aware, because a lot of us who are parking there are the same people over and over, she added. Commanding officer for the St. Andrew Central Division, Senior Superintendent Rory Martin, while highlighting that there has been a decline in the number of car thefts on the compound this year when compared to the 26 cars reported stolen during the same period last year, said that the area is a hotspot for car theft. In response to reports of vehicles being stolen on the compound of the University of the West Indies Mona, inclusive of the hospital compound, we are in dialogue with the security management team, and we have recommended that they reintroduce the use of the colored card system that drivers are given upon entrance and give back when they are exiting. We have also recommended that they use unique colors per day and not one straight color across the board, said the commanding officer. He said that while there have not been any arrests relating to the thefts, the search continues to find those responsible. Periodically, the patrol will pass through the compound to see if we see any persons who are not visiting for lawful means. When these persons are seen, they are normally picked up for our database, and the monitoring of those persons continues, he said. The senior lawman also encouraged those who park on the grounds of the hospital to properly secure their vehicles and refrain from parking in secluded areas. another worker who had their car stolen in February is of the view that there is a well-oiled car theft operation afoot and a detailed investigation is needed to catch the culprits. My assumption, based on what happened to me, is that persons are heavily connected. It's just not an arbitrary thing. I think they are making a point of their duty to target members of staff. Other persons like patients have had their vehicles stolen, but I think there is something there with members of staff, the worker reasoned. She stated that the reality of working at a place where car thefts have been reported has caused much mental stress and many workers are on the edge. It is a very traumatizing experience because you know that your car can be stolen, but you should kind of have like a sense of security when you're at work, especially in an area that is allegedly very heavily patrolled by security officers who are stationed on the compound, she said. How much focus can you have in executing your duties every day when it's like Russian roulette and you're questioning if you'll be able to go home today? The insurance coverage to get reimbursed is like pulling teeth, so you are inconvenienced constantly and there just seems to be no recourse. There is no outcry other than from the individuals affected. It just feels like we're very defenseless in the whole system, she said. Similar concerns were raised by another worker who shamed the hospital for placing signs that say employees and visitors are parking at their own risk. As a healthcare worker who travels often to conduct her duties, she believes it is unfair that a company would not seek to protect employees' property, especially those needed for work. The institution that I work at is supposed to be protecting me, and to say that I park at my own risk, I find that very disturbing. I know a lot of places are doing that, but I find it unjust and it is unfair. You are supposed to put protective mechanisms in place for your staff, and the protective mechanisms are not only the security guards, the worker said. The healthcare worker demanded better security measures, insisting that car thefts on the institution's compound cannot continue. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.